women to build thriving businesses and personal brands through compliance, personal development, and financial literacy. And we've got experts who are going to be sharing with us today. But for now, we want to invite the brain behind this event, the person who wants to bridge that gap. And I would like to invite Mrs. Haida Moyo Christine Maringwa, the She King. Let's give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as she comes here to tell us, she likes to tell us. Thank you, Claire. Why are you guys here? I feel overwhelmed right now. Because if I'm going to show you my vision board last year, Reparanyola will host a 50 people event. And we are way over 50 right now. Here goes the result. I'm not going to say much because I'm actually a bit overwhelmed. Your faces are looking bright. Thank you. I'll call Marilda to speak for me. Please, Marilda, come and do the speaking for me. Because, I don't want to cry. It's the last thing on my mind. But I'm happy to have you here, ladies, and of course, gentlemen. Yeah, you're expecting me to say something right now, but I'm not. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Our esteemed guests, guest speakers, sponsors, and the special ladies of the Women Rise Conference. Special mention to our partners we expect to be joining us, Zimra and CBZ, including the gentlemen present in our midst in their special capacities. On behalf of the She King Investments, it is a great honor to welcome all of you to the Royal Female Achievers Inaugural Women Rise Conference 2024. I extend a warm welcome to our virtual audience connected thanks to the power of digitalization. Distance is not a barrier. Today we gather as a dynamic community of aspiring visionaries and enterprising women sharing a commitment to evaluate the status of various business ventures, celebrating together the theme of the conference, empowering women to build thriving businesses and unstoppable personal brands. I also extend special appreciation to Mr. Arthur Marara in absentia. His remarkable journey will definitely inspire us. Arthur Marara, we are super excited to have you with us today and look forward to hearing from your insights when you arrive. I also want to express gratitude to our panel of speakers who are ready to share their valuable experiences and actionable advice throughout the day. We believe your various expertise will guide us as we explore the strategies and the mindset needed to thrive in today's complex business landscape. Each of you will definitely bring a unique perspective that will enrich and provide us with tools for success. I would like to also acknowledge Paida, our host. And Paida, thank you for bringing us together and creating a space where we can learn, connect, and grow. Your dedication to empowering women is commendable. We also extend appreciation to our sponsors and exhibitors and the Women Rise A team. We are grateful for your support. Finally, a warm welcome to everyone here. Your presence reflects a commitment to collaboration and empowerment. We are excited to have you here with us at the conference. As we embark on today's program, I encourage each and every one of you to take full advantage of the opportunities that await you. Let's be fearless in our pursuit of knowledge and let's connect authentically. May today not only mark a celebration of our potential, but a strong commitment to building thriving businesses and unstoppable personal brands. Thank you all for being here to make this conference a remarkable success.
Thank you, Merelda. I think we can do better. A big round of applause, ladies. Yes, thank you. So now, I don't know, did I welcome the ones that are on live stream? Please remind me, did I? I didn't. I would like to welcome those that are watching us on the live stream. We welcome you to the inaugural Women's Rise Conference 2024, the first ever. And our first speaker that is going to come is going to address a very sensitive topic, a topic of abuse. I am sure we have been in a situation of abuse, or we have been in contact with people that have been abused before. Many of us, we encounter this abuse at different levels. In some, we are scarred for life, and we even fall into depression. We are honored to hear what it took this beautiful sister to move from a state of self-pity to a thriving business, and I'm sure that is the reason for her smile, and she's got a beautiful smile. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Mommy and Baby Nails Cart. Please help me welcome Rubizai Magaya.
Thank you. I'll start with a story that happened on Tuesday. On Tuesday, there's a certain lady who bumped onto my car and damaged the front light of my car. It was along Borodale Road. She didn't stop. She just went off, drove off. But then there was an onlooker. There was a certain guy who saw it. I'll call this guy a good Samaritan because I can invest into a situation which wasn't his. Then he followed this lady. Can you go back and face the consequences, the damage that he had caused onto my car? So this lady complied because Munanga told us it's a number plate. If you don't comply, what? So when she arrived, we were already with the police. This lady came and she was crying, and it was just a sad sight. And I got curious. What's really going on? Our statements were taken, numbers were exchanged, and we left. So later on in the evening, the mother phoned of the lady who bumped onto my car, my light. It was like, I would like to apologize for what happened. My daughter is going through what? She's going through divorce and it's got a crisis in her marriage. And at the back of my mind, I'm like, God, grant me an opportunity to talk to this lady. And I wondered how I was going to talk to her. But guess what? On Thursday, this lady phoned me, wanting us to meet and fix the car. So it was like me being curious to meet this lady, to hear her side of the story, why she was crying, and what was going through in her life. I got really curious, and I'm like, oh God, I have a topic on the 19th of October, which is, it might not be the end, but maybe the beginning. That was the kind of talk I wanted to have with this lady. And we met. While my light was being fixed, and this lady opened up to her story. I had a side of the story, the marriage on crisis, the divorce procedures, and guess what? That's when I introduced myself. Let me take this opportunity to introduce. My name is Rubizai Patience Magaya. I'm turning 38 on the 1st of November. I went through divorce at the age of 32. I had 2 kids and I was pregnant. And I was unemployed. Imagine. So when I decided to go that way, to go through with the divorce, my fears were like, look after 3 kids, guys. I'm pregnant, I have 2 kids, and they are all in preschool. These are my 2 special daughters, And I have a third child coming. I had thoughts of suicide. I don't want to lie. I was hopeless. And a lot of fears trembled. I was going through a rough patch in my life. The marriage setup was toxic. There was a lot of emotional abuse. My so-called ex-husband was living a double life. You know how it is when your partner you're so in love with is prioritizing another person, yet you're so deeply in love with that person. It was really toxic to an extent that I weighed my options. How can I raise happy kids when I'm in a very, very, very sad setup? Then I took the route of shipping out the marriage. So there are things that I thought of, you know, when you walk back, I went back to the family house, and when you get back to the family house and you're unemployed, your siblings, at first they'll be bringing food items to your house, they'll be bringing stuff, and you get so entitled. They should bring me mazoe, they should bring me that cerebita. The moment they don't, you are bitter. Why? Because there's a program of that's the life. But none of them. So the moment they didn't, at times they would not because they didn't want, but knowing the life setup, you cannot buy every day for someone. That's when I thought to myself, what should I do with my life? I thought of all the things that I needed to provide for my kids. Even the pettiest thing, how was I going to set up a party for my kids? How was I going to buy toys? Diapers. Diapers are luxury when you don't have money, but then I had to think outside the box. I started with the diaper business, and it went so well. I did so. Those who know me, ndakaloka ma-streets nekutengesa madhaipa guys, mari zvaanongoitawo ndangotanga ndichingoti ndikutamba, and I thought of a brand name. That third child, wandaiti maizwe zvangu mwana uyu dai ndatotadza kumuzvara ndinomupei. That's the boy nail behind the name Mommy and Baby Nails Cut. So while I was selling diapers, hey, COVID came. The warehouse where I was taking the diapers closed. That's also another end of me. Me thinking, how was I going to look after my 3 kids? In Wajira, but at $10, $20 every day. You just feel that like, I've hit the wall again. So instead of me sticking on to the diapers business is closed, I now need to think outside the box. God help me. And at times you need God's intervention. I was like, Mari, makapa vanoumba, magifts awo, makamaita review, vanoruka. God, why can't you just unleash something that I can do with my hands? That's when the business of being a balloon artist unleashed. Now I'm a balloon artist. I decorate those cars. I provide pressure on my streets, in my red bow ties. I know this one at the saxophonist. And that was me. And that wasn't the end of my story. My story is still going on. As if it was enough, this year, 2024, I lost 7.8 to a car dealer. Imagine when you're thinking that your business, you have made it and you're making plans, you now need a big car since I'm now into events. Oh God, I got shattered. I had to sell I sold my other, I was using a Honda Fit then. Then when the car dealer lied to me that your car is now by the border, we now. And the day I paid Zimra the duty, the next day, that's when I noticed that there wasn't a car coming. And I had to go back to the events that I had, the deco events that I had. I told this other client of mine that I'm not going to do it for you, look for someone. That was the first time I had two guts to tell a client that I cannot do it. Why? Because I was in pain. And I thought that was the end of me and I wanted to give up. And guess what? When this client heard me saying that, was like, can you say what you said again? That's not true. I know you. I know how you started. Can I come and see you? I want to hear what's really going on, Romy. She came. We sat, I cried. I was just crying. Ooh, that's when I thought when people were advising me to go to the UK, I was like, I could have taken it and run away with it. Right now I'm stuck. I no more have a car. The money is gone. I can't work. So this client of mine came. And she felt really sad on my behalf because I was in pain. That's when she just prayed for me and left. Later in the evening, she phoned me and she was like, Ruby, I was about to finish my kitchen and I have money. And I felt the age of wanting to help you. I'm going to give you 3.5 so that you buy a Wonder Fit that you had. This money, I just require it. You're going to buy a car, because I can't see you fail, because I've seen you're working for your kids. You're someone who is just so devoted, and I cannot see you fall. Guys, I cried. I have relatives who are so married that they never had the mind to help me. Imagine that he's coming for a stranger who doesn't even know where I stay, who doesn't even know my address, my ID, and everything, but was willing to help me. I then decided to buy a car, and I got a car in May, a bigger, better car. So today, there are 5 lessons I want to leave with you, my fellow women. The lesson that I've learned during the course of my business and personal life journey. In life, to other the business ventures, which is the deco venture, and I'm doing so well. Number 3, forget about the mistakes in life and losses and focus on the lessons, on what these lessons.
It's not the end. It's not the end. We're just at the beginning, ladies. And we want to thank Romy for that insightful message that she brought to us. And we're moving on to our next speaker. We are going to be talking about design thinking. Does anyone know what design thinking is? Anybody, any takers? Anyway, design thinking is a strategy for approaching problem solving. And every business encounters problems, though some are different in nature. But today we have a gentleman who has so much experience. He trained more than 7,000 professionals. Aren't we privileged today? We have 15 minutes to listen attentively and jot down questions if we have any questions. We'll probably have time for 1 or 2 questions at the end. Please help me to welcome the founder of a leading consultancy firm, Meta Designs, Mr. Mupenyu Machingambi. Welcome, sir.
Who is excited to be here? Can you raise your hands? While your hands are in the air, let me know again.
Move away from this.
Okay. Sorry about that. While your hands are in the air, let me know about those who know about design thinking. Those who know about design thinking, keep your hands in the air. Oh, nobody. How come? You know about it, right? You know about it. Who else? Why not? Why not? Why not? So how many of you are running businesses anyway? Businesses. So I'm going to be interacting with you more than just presenting, because the reason why I'm here is to help you with the design thinking framework so that you can implement it at your company. Okay. So I'm not going to be giving you more like a speech, but I want to interact with you, to know about what you're doing, where you're failing, and why, so that you can go back to your company with some solutions. Okay. How many of you, again, are working in the marketing department or are doing a little bit of some digital marketing for your own company? How many of you? I want to see those hands, guys. Okay. So many hands, so many hands. Okay. To start, I would like to tell you a short story about Apple and Steve Jobs. I believe many of you know about this company, Apple. How many of you know about it? I believe all of you know about it. Okay. The reason why I would want to share a story about Apple is because Apple is the biggest company in the world. It's the #1 company in the world. And at Meta Design, we are so particular when we are giving examples to our clients. We don't learn from mediocre companies. We learn from what? From the best companies only. And the best company is the #1 company. Okay. Are you with me? That's what we do. So what happened is that Apple started in 1982, 1985, when things were not so good in the US. Things were not so good, just like in Zimbabwe. Things are not so good. Our economy is not that good, it's not conducive, especially for those small businesses who don't have a financial muscle to stay on the market. So it was just at the end of the World War II, and things were not so good in America, but two companies were founded, Microsoft and Apple. And they were competing so heavily in the computer industry. And Apple started very well, but for a short time, around 2 years, I think Steve Jobs had a conflict with the marketing department, which was being led by Scullin. So what they did is that they ousted Steve Jobs. Even though he is the person who started the company, but he was what? Ousted. So he had to leave Apple. But what happened is that after Steve Jobs left Apple, the company started to lose direction in many ways. At first, the company was so good at product design, but then it lost that touch because it was inherent to what? To Steve Jobs. He had left. So what happened later is that Apple bought the company that was founded again by Steve Jobs. Then Steve Jobs got back to Apple in 1997. That was the beginning of the new Apple that we know today. That was the beginning of the company that is valued over $3.5 trillion today. Okay. So the first thing that Steve Jobs did after coming back to Apple is that he introduced design thinking. And we need to know why. But first of all, there is a difference between knowing what a bicycle is and knowing how to ride a bicycle. Do you agree with me? All of you, 100% of the people here know about what a bicycle is. But if I give you a bicycle, how many of you can ride it? There's a big difference. So again, there's a big difference between you knowing about what design thinking is and knowing how to use design thinking in your company. Those are two different things again. There are people on the streets who know like 5 stages of design thinking, straight from the top of their head. But in the office, at the company, they can't use design thinking. And why this is so relevant is because we've seen a lot of big companies leave in Zimbabwe recently. And not only recently, but for the past 10 years. Barclays Bank left Zimbabwe. Standard Chartered Bank left Zimbabwe. Lafarge. What is happening? We also have internal products for big companies that are already operating in Zimbabwe, but failed. Where is Kwese TV? We're not talking about small companies failing, but big companies having products that fail. Okay? We also have Deloitte. What is happening with Deloitte? PricewaterhouseCoopers. They're also in the process of what? Leaving Zimbabwe. So we now have more than 7 companies, big. What about small companies now? What about small companies? Big companies. a living. Because the economy is hard. This is why I wanted to reflect it back to 1982 when Apple was founded. It was founded also during an economic crisis in the United States. It was during an economic crisis, which is almost similar to what is happening in Zimbabwe. So when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, he focused on 4 things. 4 things we need to move together, okay? He first of all emphasized on human needs. What do people need? The people we serve, what do they need? What are their inspirations? What are their motivations? What are their goals? What do they want to achieve? And what are the barriers between where they want to go and where they are? Okay? He was human-centered. Secondly, Steve Jobs focused on empathy. How can those people love our products? This is about what? Loving experience. How can we make our products so easy to use to the extent that our products don't need a manual? How can we do that? Okay. After that, you also looked into product execution. Like product execution. How do we manufacture that product and get it to the customer? P. That product and get it to the customer. P. This company doesn't have a business plan. What it has is called a business hypothesis. So it's not a plan. It's called a business hypothesis. So it's not a plan. It's a hypothesis. Quickly, after that, it uses that feedback to grind on the market, improve the features, then launch the product. To grind on the market, improve the features, then launch the product. He said both. The one that tests. Okay. How many times have you been told that you need to start with a business plan? Okay. That's why our society misleads us. Okay. Because we are taught that everything can be measured in a perfect way and can be determined while we are on the table. And then we move on to the market. And then we have a perfect marketing strategy. Then we can sell it. Most of the time I laugh when I see most of the business executives having, I think most of the people running big companies, running with PowerPoint, with Excel sheets, presenting what? They have financial forecasts. I don't know where they get those figures, but they have financial forecasts. And what they do is that they can also even forecast the cost of operation. I don't know the method they use, but what I know is that 90% of the companies in Africa fail. So the reason is why? Why do we have this perfect, well-defined path of building businesses, but we again fail? We cry. Why is it like that? Okay. Besides having big companies in Zimbabwe failing, like not failing, but leaving the market, like Barclays Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, leaving the market is tough. Okay. We also have big companies failing outside Zimbabwe, even in developed economies. Where is Kodak? Okay. In 1998, we had a company, I was very young, but I heard about it, that there was a company called Yahoo. That was a pioneer in search engine. Most of the people who had emails back then used what? Yahoo. But when Google started in 1998, what did Google focus on? Was what? User experience. And where is Google today? Versus where is Yahoo today? Yahoo is like a node, especially to the kids. Okay? But Google, again, is above $2 trillion. And Yahoo is a node. Okay? So, I would like to take you through the 5 stages of design thinking, but they are not so important. Why I say so? what is more important are the principles of design thinking and the stages. Why? Because design thinking itself is not linear. You can move from A to B, back to A, C, D, A again. So what you do in design thinking is you start by what? By discovering. You can discover a lot of things. For example, an opportunity on the market. Okay? You can discover a problem on the market. And after getting to understand the problem, how do you get to understand the problem? You interview people, you talk to people. You don't come up with a business idea while you are in your next office, okay? You talk to people, you get your hands dirty on the market. The second stage is you define that problem or the market opportunity quantitatively. Okay? Meaning that you need to interview people, put that data into a structured way. Then you understand it. But you again keep in touch with your customers, with your potential customers. Okay? Thirdly, you ideate. You come up with as many solutions as possible. In design thinking, more is more. It's not less, it's more. More is more. More data is better. More customers, better. More revenue, better. Okay? Once you get the idea, the first thing is not for you to raise funds with the idea. I've seen many people in Zimbabwe trying to raise funds with just an idea. It doesn't work like that. What you do is you build a prototype. You follow a 3-stepped process called what? Build, measure, learn, loop. You build a prototype. Not only a prototype for the product, but a business is a system that solves people's problem. Okay? So, whilst you are building your prototype, say this is a prototype, you need to think about how you are going to deliver it to the customer. Okay? You need to test the pricing. So, it's called what? You start with a minimum viable product, along with a minimum viable marketing strategy, along with a minimum viable customer experience strategy, along with the what? Minimum viable distribution strategy. Everything is minimum. Why? Because you want to test it. Once you test it, you get feedback. Either distribution probably is too big and pay. You have your, I don't know, peanut butter, honey. You test if it's moving or not. You get to fix the problem in that what channel. You come back, you resolve it. So you are now engaging in what? Continuous improvement for the channel of the product itself, marketing, and everything. Every part of your business at once. After that, if you are satisfied with your product, then you launch it, okay? You launch it, implement it. Implementing, we call it evolving. Why? Because your product can't just be the same forever. This is the reason why every month you receive a new WhatsApp update, new Twitter update, new iPhone model, new Ford Ranger. You get a new model every year because it's what? Build, measure, learn. Build, measure, learn. But if you build, you measure, and the results are not so satisfactory, you what? You pivot. You pivot. Apart from pivot, you can also what? Persevere. So build, measure, learn, you either pivot or persevere. So once you persevere, your product is successful, you need now to accelerate on what? On scaling your business. So here is what is called what? A business flywheel model. You can research about it. What it tells us is that when you start your business by what? Focusing on customer experience, satisfying what? Satisfying your customers. You get more customers, more revenue, more revenue. You use that revenue for what? For product development, product improvement, and what? Quality improvement. Then you get more investors, more what? More attention from the market. Yeah. So you can research for, I think I'm running out of time, so you can research further about the design thinking tools like Scamper, Crazy 8, and the point of view canvas. You can research about them. Then you can implement what? Design thinking in your company. So I would like to thank you for the time you gave me. I think this is quite interesting, empowering women in Zimbabwe so that you can build successful and sustainable businesses. Thank you.
runs a business is a tool used to solve people's problems. What problems are we solving? What problems are we solving? Anyways, moving on to our next speaker. Before I introduce her, I'd like to tell you a little story of what happened to me when I met this speaker. Can anyone tell me the dream car? Yes, ma'am. A Fortuna. Imagine yourself, you are driving a Fortuna, and you are driving along 7th Street. It's nice and clean, it's clear. And Shika guy just disturbs you and says, "Can I go in and drive your car?" Obviously, you'll be like, "No ways," you'll refuse. But I would like to think this speaker that is going to come up here was like a Shika for me. You know how determined those Shika guys are on the road. They need to get to where they're going. So this speaker was like a Shika to me. And she literally drove me. I was so lazy. But here we are today. I would like to introduce the topic, which is Own Your 2025. We get into what it means to take charge of 2025. Personal development coach who was fired from an accounting job and decided to take charge of her life. She's owning it, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Habdela Babies Clothing Store, the founder of Royal Female Achievers, the brain behind this. Please help me welcome a multi-award winning woman, Mrs. Kyla Moyo Mariwa. So she came once again.
Thank you, Claire. Okay. Are you happy?
Yes.
You know, in this moment, it feels like I'm writing an exam. Ask me why. Because I'm going to the School of Public Speaking to learn how to speak, and the founder is sitting right in front of me. I feel like it's got, not ticking. She did that, she didn't do this, she did that, she did. So right now, guys, so if I behave differently, it's because I'm in an exam. So please do forgive me. I might even need to change my accent for my examination. All right, are you happy?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so there are cards on the table, except this table. Not everybody will get it. No, they are written something. I just want one person to read what's written on their card. Who's got a card? Yes, thank you.
I am a success.
Great.
I am a success. She said I'm a success. I'm also a success. Okay.
I'm the best.
Oh yes, she is the best. I am the best as well.
I'm courageous. I am courageous.
Great. I am courageous. So if you look at those statements, they are very short, but they are on point. You just have to believe in them. So my topic is on your 2025, and because of time, I'm not going to talk about a lot of things. I'm just going to share with you how you can set goals that you can actually achieve. How many of you have set New Year's resolutions that look the same year in, year out? Come on. Oh yeah? 2021 list is the same as 2022. Probably the difference is on the year. You wrap 2022 and 3, yeah, 2024. And you wonder how. Because someone is saying, this is what I said at the beginning of the year, and I want to thank God because I managed to achieve what I had set. And you're thinking, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with you is you're not setting New Year's resolutions, you're just writing a wish list. You know what a wish list would look like? In 2025, I'll buy a car, go to school, lose weight, just like that. Those are not goals, those are wishes. And believe you me, everybody can wish. What will differentiate you from everybody else in 2025? is this 3 little things that I'm going to teach you right this minute. All right? So I'm going to teach you what I call the IDC principle. I what? Yes, you identify where you are. Because there is no way you can succeed in anything in this life if you don't know where you are. When you wanted to come here, when you went on Google Maps and typed Cresta Oasis, it will then ask you from where. Because someone who's coming from Kwanzana, it's different from someone who's coming from Borodale. But your destination could be the same. So you need to know where you are. You're doing a self-assessment. Why are you doing that? So that you know your strengths, your weaknesses, because they will interfere with how your year will proceed. If you're low on prayer, you probably might know that I would need somebody to help me in prayer. Why? How did you come to identify that you're low in prayer? You did a self-awareness. Oh yeah? So you need to identify where you are. In terms of your 2025 goals, right this minute, you want to buy a car. Okay, we agree you want to buy a car. But how much are you earning right now? How much are you spending from that money? How much can you save? So if you want, how much does the car that you want cost? It costs 5,000. So how are you going to raise 5,000 without knowing how much you actually can save in a day, in a month, in a week? Point number 1, what do? Great, you identify where you are. Then you move on to point number 2. Point number 2, you certainly need to decide where you want to be. Oh, this is my favorite part. Because there is no limit to imagination. There is no limit to your vision. Where do you want to be? The only difference is you need to know by when. Where do I want to be? By when. So you decide where you want to be and by when. I decide I want to buy a car by 31 December 2025. Well done, Haida, you've made a good decision. Now you know where you are, you're making $1, but you want to buy a car by the end of the year. So what's next? What are you going to do now? Because with just this information, you're not yet there, but it's a starting point. And then you do the last thing. You craft your way. You with me? Yes, the C is for crafting your way. How am I going to craft 5,000? You break it down. Probably you divide it into months. 5,000 divided by 12? Come on, get out your calculators. Business people who don't have calculators. Who's got the answer? Pardon? 416. So it means every month you're supposed to save 416. Beautiful, great. So how many weeks are in the year? How about you say 5,000 divided by 52? 96. Imagine saving $100 a week and there you have your car. If I had left it at 5,000, it was sounding like a lot. Trust me. But I've got people, I can't see them doing around. I don't know, around $100 every month. But they feel they cannot buy a car at 5,000 because it's expensive. But I need around $100 a month. It's a matter of knowing how to get where you want to. You don't need to craft one way because things are going to happen along the way. What happens if I don't get the $100 and do fun on this? Now you start thinking of how to go about obstacles because they will definitely come. Oh yeah? Yes. So the ITC principle will help you on your training. In fact, it will help you on even your company. Know where your company is right now. You're making $200. You want to make $250. So how are you going to make $250? You decide how you're going to make $250. You craft a way, you craft a plan. There you go, you have it. You're making a testimony. Guys, you know, on this particular day, we sat down with the people and I told them this is what we wanted to do and we crafted a way. We had a strategic meeting and boom, we made it. But if you keep it up here and you don't write it, trouble comes. So without wasting much of your time, I have 2 lucky people. There are 2 people who are going to find envelopes under it. Just 2 people. Just 2 people. Yes, there are envelopes stuck under the table. I know where they are, I'm not going to tell you. Please do check. Come on! Wait, oh, nice. What does this read say on top? Hold on, I need to bring the mic in. How many minutes do I have?
Congrats, you've won 3 months free coaching with the shaking.
One more person. There's another one. Because I know where it is. I'm being forced to check for her. Oh, she's another one. Check, guys. Come on, there's one more envelope. I wanted to check on your own. I just had to hint her. I didn't know who was going to sit where. Trust me, and I wasn't even here when you guys were sitting, was I?
Congrats, you've won 3 months free coaching with the Shiki.
So if you see them, AC there 2025. Because this right here was a dream for me. You're actually part of a dream that has come true. So something that I did seed, and there we are. Okay? Yeah. Clap hands for yourself. Okay. Any questions before I sit down in regards with the setting your achievable goals, IDC kind of question? No question. Oh my God, I was talking to myself. Holy Mary, thank you.
I'd like to know what keeps you going when things don't go your way. How do you motivate yourself? Normally we say prayer. What keeps you going as well, aside from prayer?
Okay, prayer has been taken off the list. What keeps me going aside the prayer? I'll take that as a personal question and I'll answer it from a personal level. What keeps me going is the fact that I do not wish to see any other woman going through what I went through when I was fired. So to me, if I don't do something, it means someone out there who was supposed to interact with me and be impacted is going to lose that opportunity. So there is the why. You all need to identify your why. Why are you in that business? And then you put emotions to that why. What do I mean? I mean, if I don't succeed in this business, what emotional impact does it have on me? Because sometimes you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Because, well, at the end of the day, even if it fails, it's not going to matter that much. But for me, there are things that I know if this business fails dismally, I'm not going to be able to send my child to school. So what am I supposed to do at the end of it? Yes, I'm tired today. I don't feel like posting today. I don't feel like calling anyone today. But I have a child who needs to go to school. That's my why. So the bigger question could be, yes, you're in business, but what's your why? Are you in business to show off? Or you're in business to achieve something? And that something, please link it to emotions. Because if there are no emotions, it might not mean much. Yeah? You answered? Great. Last question, I'm left with 2 minutes, guys.
Thank you, Paida. My question is, how do you, like looking at your program, your schedules, you're always busy, up and running. Wakaita kuzara pa social media, waenda one attend manage, you're meeting different people and mentoring different people. How do you manage burnout? How do you manage that?
Burnout. I don't burn out. When I play. Ask her. She knows. Please confirm. She does. Yes. When I play, okay, the difference is the time that I play, yeah? You might not see it on social media. You might bump into me at Jacaranda, but you might never see that on social media. Make sense? Yeah. So it's not like I just serious business all the time. No? Even in this room, if you play my favorite song, you'll be shocked. Yeah. Like, is this you? Are you okay? Is everything alright? So burnout happens, but know how to moderate. These days we talk about self-care. You are your greatest asset. So you need to take care of you. Make sense? Because you cannot operate at your best when you're not okay. I would have been, feeling a bit tired right now. And the atmosphere would have been different. Because I would not be fit, but it's to be probably burn out from 3 weeks of working and working and working. No, know when you're tired. Know when to say, you know what, I need to shut down and shut out. There are days where I just wake up and say, I'm not going on social media. Then I switch off my phone and I sleep. A part of me will be saying, what if a client is looking for you? What if this, what if this? But my self-care is important and it's critical. Please put it in your schedule, put it time for self-care. Because if you don't, you overlook it and say, I'll sleep tomorrow. I'll go for this massage another time. Okay. All right. Great. I can sit down. How many seconds do I have left? 1 minute left. Okay, I'll take this question.
Thank you, Kaila. Mine is related to the IDC concept that you just explained. On number 3 specifically, craft your way. You kind of like elaborate. Most of us, when we go into starting a business, like when you're starting to craft things out, that's where most of us get stuck. Would you assist in the procedures or the pointers you may want to give in assisting with crafting your way out when you want to start up?
So crafting your way depends on what you want to do. The way someone who wants to buy a house crafts their way is different from someone who wants to buy a pair of heels. So it depends now, where is your business? What is it that you want to craft the way? I'll give an example. You are a startup. You want to craft a way to what? What do you want to do? Do you want to increase sales? Do you want to increase your social media engagement? What do you want to do? That will then determine how you will get there. You're not going to set one goal for the whole business and then try to craft your way for that. No, I want to increase sales. And then you find 3-4 ways of increasing your. I want to be better at digital marketing and increase the page numbers by 100 in 6 months. And then you craft your way towards achieving that without necessarily having one big goal that you're trying to find 17 ways to get there. That's where we come to know what you want to decide. You need to decide, yes, my business is small, but first things first, what am I starting with? Am I starting with increasing sales or brand awareness, etc., etc.? So crafting your way depends on what you want to achieve. All right. Okay. To those of you who didn't win, I'm sorry, guys. You can talk to me after. I'll have a special package for you at 50% discount. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Products for women. Products for women. We have a sister who is in the banking industry and is ready to give us insight on this topic. Let's welcome from CBZ, Kirsty Gavaza.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you all. Paila, on behalf of Blessing, you did a fantastic job. Congrats. So my name is Kirsty Gavaza. I'm from CBZ Holdings. I'm the virtual branch manager. Anyone who's heard about virtual branch manager? No. Oh yeah, except for Paila. And we will not allow her to respond to that. Being a virtual branch manager means I can assist you wherever you are. I have clients in Rwanda, Nigeria, UK, Australia, Canada, who despite all the challenges we faced as a nation concerning our banking and finance, are still banking with us. So I want to challenge every lady and gentleman in this room who doesn't have faith to say it's about time we start with us as individuals. We've been through a lot, but we cannot expect anyone else to come through and assist us but ourselves. So what have we done as CBZ? Before I tell you what we've done, I want to tell you who we are as CBZ. So we are a diversified financial services group. In my introduction, I say I'm coming from where? CBZ Holdings and not CBZ Bank. Most of us know the bank, but I'm coming from a group perspective, where we've got over 7 subsidiaries. So we've got our own arm of insurance, short term, where we can then insure all your properties, your cars. We also have long-term insurance where we insure your lives in the unfortunate event that it happens and we have to leave this way. We also have a microfinance in the form of Red Sphere. We also have an office in Mauritius under DATBEST, where we do fund management. We also have a local office here under DATBEST. For those who've heard of the Northgate stands, the craze of going across Samora, yes, that's part of our projects that we also do. We also have a CBZ properties arm. I want to tell you how big we are. As from properties, we do property management. So did you know that you can actually take away the hassle of looking for tenants for your buildings, maintaining the property and collecting rent? We actually have an arm that can do that for you for the financial services. We also are into agro-business. Under agro-business, we've got 2 units. So we've got agro-yield, that was then spearheading the government initiative of giving you inputs, and all you do is go to the farms, plant. Once you've reaped, that's when you only pay back. We also have then the agribusiness side, where we want to fund you, your working capital. We've also come up with various partnerships where we've given people tractors for those who are into farming. So when I talk about CBZ, I want you to look at us as a financial powerhouse with a lot of backing and knowledge across. But today we're going to talk about women, right? So we've gone a step further and introduced what we call the She Solution for women entrepreneurs, where we are saying we understand the challenges that women face when they want to start up a business. Sometimes it's just the knowledge that they don't have. Sometimes they have been broken before and they don't know where to start. So under our She Solution, we've got a special account for you. Number 1, I know the first question is, what are the bank charges, right? Yes. Hey, we want the banking services, we want the credit, but we don't want to pay the banking charges. Anyone who sells chickens? Fantastic. Anyone who's into doing our hair? How much does it cost for a beautiful hairstyle like yours, on average? $50 plus minus, fantastic. And you get that for like 3 weeks, right? And then you, a month, 3 weeks, thereabouts. If you've got a facial function like me, I had to do my hair this morning to come here. Our special bank charges for a women entrepreneur product is $10 a month. So if you're selling chickens, that's 1.5 birds a whole month. So if you're doing balloon setup, how many balloons is it? Just a little bit. For those who are doing bigger businesses, if it's consulting, I'm sure it's just like 20 minutes, if not 20 seconds of your time. But what does it give you in terms of opening an account? You get to introduce yourselves into the financial markets. We get to know who you are. If Paida was to come to me or Blessing and say, you know what, I've got a successful business, I have 300 students every term who come through, they graduate, you know, I take care of the most successful business people. And it's all talk. In the line of business, the figures do the talking. So it's important for a woman to have a business account, or for anyone who is into business to have an account. And luckily for CBZ, we've given you one that only has $10 a month. So what does this $10 entail? We have created a special incubation center along Cripps Road, where you get access to have your own meetings. There is a boardroom where you can actually then have someone else you can actually meet there, you know, pretend to have made it when you're still trying to make it. But you've got a very beautiful environment where you can take advantage of the incubation center. We also offer networking opportunities. So we have networking opportunities where you're invited. I think the last one we had included those who were into farming, and we're one of the biggest entrepreneurs and ladies who does goats. Dog. So we're saying we're creating platforms where you can actually interact with these ladies, and you don't have to be paying anything besides your $10 a month. Who thinks we should have gone to $50 a month? Yeah, I understand. We also have a private banking suite in Pomona. Hey, you've got your big client and you want to invest in, and you happen to be a She Solutions, a bank account holder of CBZ. You can book our boardroom in Pomona and have your meeting. Free of charge. Wow. Yes. Why? Because we believe in you, and we believe that you need to start something. So the networking opportunities, the boardrooms where you get to feel, I can get there, but I'm not yet there. On that same $10, we spoke about one of our subsidiaries being CBZ Life. We give you $500 free funeral cover for you, your spouse, and 4 biological children below the age of 18. Why are we all doing all this? At the same time, we will not wait for you to get to the 6 feet under. We also have a hospital cash plan that will give you $100 for every third day that you are in hospital. So you're hospitalized today, you're lying on your bed. The third day you're in hospital, your relative or yourself, you can claim $100 from us every day for the next 30 days continuous hospitalization. Why? Because we are speaking to entrepreneurs. The moment you're lying on that bed, it means there is no bread at home. That means that you're going to have shortfalls. I know we have medical aids, but how many times are they 100% successful? You always have shortfalls, the doctor's consultation. So that $100 will take care of that. So that comes on a She Solution. But we're not limiting it to you. We are saying as a very clever business woman, the IDC principle, you also think, I have a family. So should you also want to have someone else that you know in the unfortunate event, you are the first person that they call. We do not want you to take that money out of your business. You have them registered for $1.70 a month. That's probably less than a quarter chicken, right? $1.70. In the unfortunate event that they are in hospital, you come and get $100 from the bank. What a clever woman you would be. Imagine. So these are some of the products and services that we've introduced, not only for you, but also for the people that you like to cover. You can also be a very clever woman and ask your relatives to come and join as a group. It's even cheaper. So, what we also offer. So you find we want everyone to have a financial footprint, a digital, where we can actually then see what you've done. We have loans that we can give you, but for you to get a loan, you have to have shown what you've done before. The numbers don't lie. So when you do your books, please make sure you're doing your recordings every other day. You're balancing your books at the end of the month. And essentially, when you have an account that charges you only $10 a whole month, what will you get? In the event you need a loan from us, There are loans where we will give you 50% of your monthly annual return. So your monthly return will give you 50%. So if you are banking and you get $1,000 a month, you can quickly just come up to the bank and then you get $500. We also have loans where we'll give you 40% of your annual turnover when you want to do bigger things. We also have loans where we'll give you 60% of your existing stock. So you don't have to come to the bank with a deposit for you to come and apply for a loan. We have what we call asset-based lending, where we'll give you a loan, but you need to have a relationship with us that's at least 3 months old. In that 3 months, we're expecting you to make the deposits and withdrawals. We also have products on debt factory. So you've got a client and you're supplying, let's say the government for instance, and you want a tender or a small order, and now the 30 days that they say they'll pay have come through and they've not paid you. You can come to the bank with that invoice and we'll give you money before they actually pay you back. We want to also encourage you not to go to loan sharks. Why? Sometimes when you're starting out, you want to then operate at the minimum cost as possible. So you find for sheet solutions, ladies in business, you come to us. We have deliberately made a decision to give you 5% lower interest rate on the ZIG loans and 2% lower interest rate on the USD loan, just because you're a lady and you're an entrepreneur. So we care about you. We care about you growing your business. So what we've done with our incubation centers, so we've got one in Roy and one in Arad as we start. We've got infrastructure facilities where you can host your meetings. We've got business support services. So our experts there will also come to you and help you do your business planning, as you were saying earlier on. They'll help you craft your IDC, help you get there to say how do you get to the 500 that you want to save at the end of the month. We also do fostering of networking and collaboration. We also look for special financing for women. So you find the 5% lower and the 2% lower on the USD loans are for the ordinary funding. But where we've come up with funding, especially for women, like Crown Agents has done that before, where they funded ladies who want to. We then introduce you to those facilities and then you can take them out. Usually those will be even in the lower interest rates because of that. They're coming specifically for women. So ladies, as you think about growing your business, start small, think big, and take steps towards that. As CBZ, we are here to support you. Open it. Despite the type of bank or bank account you may want, I'm coming from CBZ, but there are lots of other institutions. In case you don't have a CBZ branch next close to you, but I'm encouraging ladies to have a financial footprint. Open an account, transact with your account. At the end of the day, the easiest thing, I'll give you one secret. If you have to come to me and say you want a loan, I'll just look at your bank account and see how much you've saved or how much has come through your account for the past year. And from there, I can then calculate, without even taking calculator, that will give you so much money. So the moment you put less money, you also qualify for something less. We don't mind how much you take it out. So you can come in and deposit $1,000 today, the day after you want to take it out, that doesn't matter. You're in business. So we're not keeping the money in the account, you need to use it. But the idea is that there's a financial footprint that then also in the event you want to apply for a loan, we'll then look at your books to then be able to match. Someone spoke about Mukano earlier. It's sad that we've noticed that sometimes people have been duped. Someone runs away with the money. At CBZ, we've got a Mukano product where you can save for a minimum of 6 months, no monthly service charge, no withdrawals charge. It's called Cash Plus. Cash Plus account. So you can actually open that in your individual capacity, or you can open it up as a group, and you save your money. When you're withdrawing it, no charges. How beautiful is that? So I won't continue unless there are questions. I really want to thank you for the time that we've had today. I want to congratulate all the ladies in this room to say you started on a beautiful journey. Ensure you've covered all the ends. You can grow and become so much better than you did. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just one question on the products that you mentioned, the hospital plan. Did I get it correctly? You said from day 3, one gets $100 every day for the next 30 days. As long as you're in hospital. So suppose I'm in hospital for 15 days, can you give me figures there?
We'll give you 1,500.
Or 15 times 100. Okay, how is this money paid in?
Cash.
Cash. Thank you very much.
So if you want to sign up, we can chat over.
That was very insightful. Many of us, we like kuchengeta zvigaba zvemari yatinobvira muna December. Mari iyoyo haikwanisi kutiwanisa malone vadikani. Asi bank, like what Kirsty was sharing with us. And this kuti zvigaba zvakashata, but at the same time, we also need to move with the times. Right now, I hope I'm speaking to everyone. Everyone understands Shona, right? Wonderful. Tinoda kuti tisimuke kagame aka ndakakaona kachiitwa naDr. Mandibira. Ndikati ininiwo semunhu ari kuaspire kuva student wavo. Regai ndimbovaratidzawo zvandakadzidza. May we all stand up, please. On our waist, we are going to spell I am successful with our waist. Okay. Dr. Dokumbiro Mutirati Joguti, I will reach no spellers. Okay, I will do M. Yeah, what? Successful now. Yes. You. What comes next? C. Another C. E. They're all small letters. S. Another S. F. U. L. There we go. That was successful. We just needed to. Okay. If we would like to get into the issue of finances again. And as it's not man. We've got millionaires in here. So we have to match up to the standards of the people that are in here. So we're looking at the techniques that we need to implement financial literacy in our personal finances. We all have $1 or $2 passing through our hands every day. Let's hear how we can make sense of ourselves. Help me welcome Mrs. Gladys M. Shumambiri.
Can I have my presentation? As they are putting up my presentation, I want to greet all of you. And I'm very honored and humbled to be standing before you
and to be one of the speakers in this workshop, in this conference. It's what I love to do. I love working with women, and this is my area of passion. I will introduce myself. I'm a mother of 4, married with 4 kids, 18, 16, 13, and 9, 3 boys and a girl. I love music, singing for the Lord. I love traveling. I'm just coming from Victoria Falls just now, from the Reserve Bank Annual Financial Inclusion Conference. I love reading content on personal development and financial education. I am a graduate of the University of Zimbabwe in BSc Economics and a Master's in Business Administration. I'm also a Master Certified Coach and a Professional Certified Coach with the International Coaching and Mentoring Foundation. I'm also a Certified Microfinance Management Trainer with the International Labour Organization. So that's a background about myself. I'm a former senior economist with the RVZ. That's where I used to work before they retrenched me into what I am now doing. So I am standing here in front of you because I am a product of retrenchment. And that's why I'm very passionate about talking to women who are, how many are in corporate or who go to a job? And there are so many. So it's important that you have something that you're doing apart from going to work, because work can end anytime. Last week we were at a presentation in Rua, and ladies called me on the Monday saying, I got, my job got finished last week. She was on a contract, she had gone on leave. She comes back on Monday to be told there is no more job for you. So that is what can happen when you are going to work. So it's important that you are here at Women Rise Conference, that you are able to get empowered so that when you lose your job, it doesn't bother you. Life still goes on. So that's why I love talking to people. Is the presentation getting ready? Because there's an activity that is in the presentation that I wanted us to do. So you have to be seeing what is on the screen so that we do what is on the presentation. Can you go to the first slide? You can't put it on slideshow? Sorry? Okay. Can you go to the slides before? It's not responding. Okay. All right. I will use. That's okay. I wanted you to be seeing on a bigger screen. There are some questions that are there. Okay. Sometimes that's what technology does, but it's okay. I will use my phone. So there are questions, there are 4 questions that I will ask you. So if you are saying yes, you are going to go to the next side. If you are saying no, you are going to go to this side. The first question that is there, I think Zimbabwe has done a lot on financial education. If you're saying yes, can you go this side? If you're saying no, can you go this side? No one has to be in the middle. If you're saying yes, you are on this side. On this side. If you're saying no, you are on this side. So those who are taking the picture, I need you to take this picture. And we will send it to the RPZ. Because everyone in the room says Zimbabwe is not done enough regarding. So, yeah. So media guys, I will need this picture so that we show it to the RPZ. Yes, can you come and take it from the front? Can you come and take it from the front? The other question is that as a woman who is in business, I do my business financial records very, very well. As a woman who is in business, I do my financial records very, very well, as she was talking about. If you say yes, can you go to this side? Very few as well. Okay. The third question is that I am very confident about my financial decisions or about my money decisions. I am very confident about money decisions or about my financial decisions as a woman. If you say yes, can you please come to this side? Okay, the last question is that I am going to start implementing all the financial principles that I am going to get from this conference. All of you. Paila has taken your contacts, I understand. She has your phone numbers, she has your email addresses. Yes. As we are going to go through the presentation, we are going to be learning some principles, and I will follow up with Paila as to what is happening with you guys. I will also follow up with CBZ to check if the women who are in here have opened up the accounts, the SHE accounts. Yesterday we were in Victoria Falls. We were being encouraged about the SHE accounts. There were so many bankers who were there. They were talking about the SHE accounts. So there is a lot of support from our banking sector. So we will check with CBZ. If you are going to go and open the account through Paila, she will tell us, you are going to do a survey, Paila, of these women who have attended this conference, those who don't have a bank account, yes or no, and we'll follow up if they now have bank accounts after 2 months, by end of November. We can take our seats. Okay. So I'm going to talk about 3 things. I wanted the slides to really work because I wanted you to be seen. Okay. I'll talk about 3 things: physical health, mental health, and financial health. So those 3 things are very, very important. So they are like 3 circles: physical health, mental health, and financial health. And you are in the middle of that circle. So we are saying today, as a woman who wants to be successful in your life and in your business, you need these 3 pillars. You need your mental health to be very good. You need your physical health to be very good. You need your financial health to be very good. You cannot have the other without the other. Because all of them, they complement each other if you want to be a woman who is really empowered. So what are we saying? We are saying that a woman who is going to be successful in business needs to be in good state of physical health. How many of us do regular exercise? How many of us do regular exercise? If regular means if you do once a week, every week you do once a week. If you do 2 times a week, you are consistent. Can we raise our hand? There are very few. Okay. So we are saying that, yeah, you can go to the next slide. These are some of the questions that I wanted to ask you, but it's okay. You can go to the next one. Yeah, just go to the next one, then I will come back to this one. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm talking about this slide. So we are saying that as a woman, you need to be in a good state. So I was saying that you are in the middle. So you need to be in a good state of physical health. So you need to exercise. You need to do physical exercise. It's very, very important for your body. How many of us know their body mass index? It's a measure of your weight and your height. We don't know. So you need to go and check body mass index. It's very important. I learned this some weeks ago at a total wellness workshop that we had. I didn't know that you need to know your body mass index because it says a lot about your state of health. You should not be overweight. You can see me as a slim person, but if I do my body mass index, I can be overweight. So everyone, you have to have a diet that is in line with your body mass index. Even the exercises that you do, you don't just go to the gym and just say I'm going on the treadmill or I'm lifting some weights. You need to do exercises that are in line with your body mass index. So we need to be women who are in a good state of physical health. Some of the diseases that we are now suffering are just a result of lack of physical exercise. And number 2, we need to eat well. Eating well does not mean that you are eating expensive food. It means that you are getting enough nutrients that are required by your body. How many people know the amount of water that your body needs? Because all of us, we have different amounts of water our body needs based on my weight and everything. How many know the amount of water that your body needs? Very few. And yet, this is very, very important. When you take the right amount of water, you also have good skin. We tell the level of your health by your quality of skin. Do you know that? When we see you, we can just tell that you are not okay by your skin. When you are okay, we also tell it by your skin. So when you take the right amount of water, you're also doing a good thing to your skin. You're also doing a good thing to the whole of your body. Water is the best healthy drink. How many of us love fizzy drinks? Fizzy drinks. It's not a sin, it's okay. Fizzy drinks, they carry a lot of sugar. That is not good for your health. So a nutrition specialist was encouraging that we need to drink a lot of water above any other drink. Even the fruit juices, they also have a high level sugar content. Some people, they think that fruit juices or those juices are the healthy drinks, but the most healthiest drink is your water. You can flavor it with some lemon, some ginger, because some people, they say braino chata. But you can flavor it with shite. So I just want to encourage us to eat well. Let's eat a balanced diet. Let's exercise. Because if you are not feeling well, you will not make good money decisions because you are sick. Number 2, mental health. A lot of us, there is a lot happening. Our economy is not all right. There are so many things happening. There is the new marriage act. I know some women are already getting worried about the new marriage act and all those things, which will cause a lot of mental health problems. We women, we are carers, we care for our husbands, our kids, our relatives, but many times we fail to take care of our own selves. How many treat themselves? kusipete sorry aiwa vamwani vasingazive chokwadi kuendawo kuspa kunoitwawo body massage wakagara pachicheya wakaisa makumbo ako mudenga pane munhu ari kungokumasajawo kana ari kungokuitirawo maneils wakarelaxa for 30 minutes kana for 1 hour usina kwakumanyira vangaanoonetezvo vashoma ko vanongovharawo dhoo rake mubedroom ongoti please do not disturb is my me time kumba at least zvitori nani notogozvipawo me time ko anongozvitritawo kuti akabata mari anongombozi fungawo kuti ndaungomboenda kuchike nini kana kuti ndaukwira hangu bhazi kuenda kuvictoria falls ndobhadhira $50 yangu 1 night noenda kumafalls ndodzoka manheru kungozvitritawo. So a lot of women, we fail to take good care of ourselves. As it negative, so many issues that are going on. Kwatiri, kumabasa kwatinoshanda, kune zvakawanda zvokuitika. Umwe anenge achitofesa sexual harassment at work, but they are failing to communicate. Umwe ari kufesa ma-family issues, but ari kutoshaya kuti osheya nani, things are not okay. Anopedzisira ane ma-mental health problems. Haachafungi zvakanaka, kana tiri sisu sanamai, ndinezvandanetsa nawo nemurume wangu ndakutopedza ndashungu kuvana vana vanenge vakutoshera kuti what is really going on. But tukuti a woman, you need to cultivate mental health, kuzviwanirawo nguva, kufungawo zvinhu zviri positive. If you are going through a situation, you can always have someone that you call a confidant. It can be your pastor's wife, it can be your sister, it can be your best friend. Have someone that you need to talk to. Because they are going through a lot of situations, but they fail to take care of their mental health. So let's take care of our mental health. Let's take care of our financial health. Financial health means you are able to meet your financial obligations. Unogona kubhadhara mabhills ako uchiita zvimwe zvinhu zvese zvaunokwanisa kuita. Ndo yatinoti state of financial health inotibatsira kuti tive madzimai akanaka. Can we go back to the previous slides? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Then yeah, thank you. So financial literacy, it is about you having knowledge and skills and confidence to manage yourself and your personal finances very, very well, considering your own economic and social circumstance. Just nema economic nema social circumstance akasiyana. Saka kugona kumanager, kuva nema skills ne confidence yokumanage your own finances. Uchitarisa situation yakakukomberedza. Ndo yatinoti financial literacy. Financial education, it is a process of improving your own level of financial capability. It means kuti uri understand my financial products angachitaurwa kuti kune ma savings accounts and it's a financial product. Kune medical aid is a financial product. Kune insurance is a financial product. Vamwe vatombozima ma financial product. Kune ma shares and SAY ma financial products. Kune anonzi my unit trust SAY ma financial products. So when you are improving your level of capability, ndo yatinoreva kuti financial education uri kuenhance your financial skills uchiva neconfidence uri kuva neexposure and access to training like you are doing today. With that, now we know financial education. What is financial capability? It's now your ability to act with confidence. Now after this conference. So it's now your ability to act with confidence in making choices about your own financial situations. So financial capability, inoreva kuti une knowledge, une skills, une ma attitudes, uri kuchinja your behavior. Let's go to the next slide. And chapter is my dimensions. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next slide. So financial literacy, it seeks to influence your level of skills as a woman. Money management skills. Financial literacy seeks to influence your level of knowledge. How knowledgeable are you about money matters? How knowledgeable are you about things that relate to money? Financial literacy seeks to influence your attitude. A lot of people, they are negative about money. They think it's difficult to make money. They think that money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil, but it is the love of money. So after everything that we are going to say, we seek to affect your change of behavior. That's the role of financial literacy. So, let's go and have a behavior change. If you were a big spender, let's go and start budgeting about our finances. If you were not having a bank account, you were not having a financial footprint, a credit history, let's go and change to open those business accounts. If you were not budgeting, let's go and start budgeting. If you were not investing your money, let's go and start kubereka mari. Thank you very much. My time was very short and I've African technology, but it's okay. I will share the presentation with Paida. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Shubadili. Someone that I advertised this conference to asked me the question, $30 for the ticket. So tell me, with Jati Kuzidzanas, isn't $30 too little? It's too little. The knowledge that we are getting today, guys, it made me emotional that we put so little value in our in things that that are to develop us. And our next speaker is going to talk about your success versus personal development. We cannot put a price on personal development. And I would like to invite the founder of the Zimbabwe School of Public Speaking, a gentleman who came from humble beginnings, Dr. Blessing Mandipira. A round of applause for Dr. Mandipira.
Thank you so much, Madam Host. Good job, by the way. And I was saying to myself whilst I was seated there, as I watched you come through, anytime I saw you coming and someone was here, I said, hey, I wouldn't want to see you come when I'm still here. I will start by telling you a story of something that happened to someone a couple of years back. On Star FM, they were launching what they call Diamond Studios in Mutare. They invited a certain pastor to come through and pray for a meeting such as this one. It was a business meeting, and they invited all kinds of people, dignitaries. Your ambassadors were there, the politicians were there, government officials, government ministers were there. And this man was given 5 minutes to pray. For me, I felt that was too much. Just to pray for something like this. 5 minutes? That's a lot. And the man prayed. And he prayed. And he continued to pray. I mean, I drove all the way from Westgate until I got to Masasa. It took me about 25 to 30 minutes. The man was still in prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, I can never forget this Delman Pepo was the same People's chairman. Came up on the stage and these were his words. Blessed are they that are brief, for they shall be invited to pray again. Ladies and gentlemen, we would want to be invited for another convention just like this. As your speakers, may I say, well done, my man, Anesu, that was a powerful presentation. Well done, Madam Romy. Yes, well done, hey? And of course, just beautiful presentations. Hey, Shumba Miri, wow. This is my first time to actually interact with you. Beautiful presentation that I had today. Well done. I come from the School of Public Speaking where we teach and coach people how to communicate. Can you imagine? I mean, women are beautiful. How many of you believe me? Raise your hand if you know that women are beautiful. The person who made me to be what I am today was a woman. And this woman, I met her at Toastmasters. Her name was Hazel. So I'm in front of an audience. This is my first time to speak to people. How many of you know that speaking is hard? Very good. And how many of you know that you can die here? So well done to those that spoke and never experienced death. This lady, it's my first time, and it takes me about 30 seconds to introduce myself. Now, how many of you know that it's difficult to introduce yourself? Raise your hand. In front of people. That was the experience I had. This is my first time to be Toastmasters, and I rise and I stand before an audience and I'm looking at people and I freeze. So I try to speak and encourage myself. I mean, how many of you know that men must continue to encourage themselves no matter what? That's what they taught. And I had to do that. Encourage myself, and of course, things did work. My speech was very bad. It was terrible. I mean, I spoke for 30 seconds, but it looked like I was there for years. But I can never forget what Hazel said to me. Hazel was colored. She said to me, "Bless you, I don't think you're cut out for speaking, considering your height. I have a suggestion." Now my speech, hello? How many of you know that English is hard? I mean English. That's the experience I had on that particular day. It was a very, very difficult moment for me. And he said to me, "I don't think you're cut out for speaking, and considering your height, I have a suggestion. Why don't you try basketball?" Now, I don't know how speaking and height are connected, but she suggested that I should try basketball. And of course, I went to the toilet and cried. And cried. And cried. But one thing that I did was to come back to Hazel and face her after the meeting and say to Hazel, "Hazel, I'm thankful for the feedback. In fact, I don't call it feedback, I call it feed forward. You have just assisted me to want to come back on that stage again and again and again until I achieve mastery in the art of public speaking. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still looking for Hazel. Because had it not been of Hazel, I would not have been here today, speaking to you today. So I'm grateful that I had to meet Hazel. Why am I telling you this story? Because I want you to realize that no matter who you are and no matter where you're coming from, your background does not at all determine the person that you can be if you are seriously serious about your life. There are so many women who are seriously not serious about their lives. Hello? Just touch somebody next to you and say, "Are you seriously serious in your life?" Yes. Dear man, yeah, obeying you. Sometimes one is it serious, I'm 45. One is it serious, 65. But what if it is serious, kutotanga nasi? Because as a woman rises, woman rise. There are two things that I want to talk about. And of course, I'm watching my time. Hey, Shumabe, please let me know. I don't want her to obviously start approaching me here. There are two things that I want to talk to you about. And my sister, when you're telling us your story, as you're sharing your story, it touched me because I'm married to somebody who actually had her own kids, 2 of them. And I took her in because I believe that none of us, no matter what we go through, we can never be junk. No matter who you are and no matter what you go through, divorce or not divorce, you're special, you're loved, you're good. And when I say, are you taking now? I have a gentleman in Australia. He has been bothering me. This gentleman is around about 45. You said you're 38. That's not bad. I mean, you're good. Who knows? But here is what I know. That one of the things that stop people from realizing their potential is you are a woman, is the issue of attitude. Attitude to your finances. Attitude to your money. Attitude to your husband. Point number one, yes. That's your point number one. Attitude, the issue of attitude. You want to go far, even in business, you need to have a good attitude. I remember just a couple of weeks ago, how many of you remember this story? Imazigi, nandini mali yangu, hello, where is it? Nandini mali yangu ngairi mu account. Because the next morning, my wife wakes me up and says, have you seen this message? Looking at it, nandini ga 1.5 pound kwa kazi mwazi, ya pesa ya kuna mtu kwa 6-700 dollars. Ngada kumona governor, but I was shaking his own money. But it was up to me to change my perspective and learn from that, because there are some people who did not go through that. Now, I do not know what they know, because possibly if I had known what they knew, that may not have happened to me. And I'm saying to you as a woman, sometimes the information you don't have is actually what is stopping you from realizing the potential. You need to open to learning. Be that type of a lady who is willing to learn. Sometimes someone once told me that if you are the smartest in your group, you ought to find a new group. Sometimes it's important to surround yourself with people that see it like you see it. That's how you grow. You type it up $500, stretch yourself. Type it up 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. The conversations are different. And the places they visit are different. And the kind of people that they meet are different. It's suggesting to you that as a woman, change your attitude. Repeat after me, I'm changing my attitude.
I'm changing my attitude.
Repeat after me, I love myself.
I love myself.
I love me.
I love me.
Because I can change.
Because I can change.
I want to rise.
I want to rise.
And reach the top.
And reach the top.
The last point that I want to talk to you about is the issue of mentorship. I promised you two things. Am I correct? Yes. Attitude, 1, 2. Mentorship. My guess should be correct that most of you here do not have mentors. Hello? Yes. If you don't have a mentor in some area, don't raise your hand. If you have a mentor in some area, raise your hand. Oh, very good. If you have a mentor in finances, raise your hand. If you have a mentor in relationships, raise your hand. If you have a mentor in public speaking, in communication, in how to talk, most people talk, but you have to talk. You get the difference? Very good. Mentors collapse the time of making it. The person you're hearing today was mentored by so many people. Elton Kamwindo, Jonah Mungoshi, I call them godfathers in this industry. No matter who else will come. These two. Hello. Jonah Mungoshi, champion of public speaking in 2003 in the States. And Milton Kamwindo. They are our godfathers. And no matter how good I may sound, it doesn't matter. These still remain our godfathers in this craft. So what am I saying to you? find someone who can help you to collapse your time of learning in anything and everything, because you can master it. I see beautiful faces in here. You are smart, you're intelligent. Look at the way you are looking. Gorgeous. I mean, insanely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I wish my wife was here. I told you, Dr. Beza, I have a beautiful wife. We now have 4 children, because their children are my children. And I love you. She did accounting. I did speaking. So she accounts for speaking. It doesn't matter how small your project might be. When I started out with one client, one customer, one person. And I used to put small little balls from my robots. But nasa ono zimezipota ono sana na an airport road. Unaona mjumana ni aje doesn't matter where you start from. It doesn't matter. After the chico na Habakkuk, it's na Habakkuk, do not despise the day of small things. Ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the close of my presentation, here's what I want to say to you. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Rise and shine. But may I leave you with a quote from Barack Obama, the past president of the United States, who said, "When we are met with cynicism and doubt and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed which sums up the spirit of the people. Yes, we can. And yes, you can." This is Blessing Speaks, Mzukuru Wambia Tawanda. God bless you, and see you at the top. Bye-bye for now.
I will not speak because the speaker has spoken. Yes. And that's your audience. I have decided to be selfish. I need 2 volunteers. 2 volunteers, please. Yes, ma'am. Please come to the front. Yes, ma'am. Please do come forward. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm Magdalene Richardson.
Nice to meet you. And
I'm Vanessa Pofu.
So, our task is in 30 seconds. Timekeeper, please, 30 seconds. Tell us about yourself. 30 seconds.
I'm Magdalene Richardson. I'm a mother and I'm an educationist. I also want to venture into entrepreneurship and be successful. The sky is the limit, as we have been told. I'll start small and then get big. You see the big posters.
I'm Vanessa Mpofu. I'm an entrepreneur, founder of Traveler's Dream, a travel agency. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful kids, 2 boys and a girl. I'm an aspiring farmer, and I love traveling. I love baking. I think that's about it.
Does she deserve a book?
Yes.
There you go, ma'am. Okay. The other books, Shazo, not dog by Lee. Anyways, moving along. Our next speaker is coming to talk about you don't need to be present on the ground for your business to thrive. We want to build sustainable business through effective systems and processes. I have the honor to call upon the standards expert, Mrs. Olivia Zimba. A round of applause for Olivia Zimba, please, as she comes forward.
Sorry, I need to give them a flash disk. I hope it's not eating into my time. Now for the past more than 20 years. First in the regulatory field, regulating. I was with the Ministry of Water. Pollution, water pollution. Then I moved to Voluntary Standards, Standards Association. Then I left to pursue a career as a consultant. I'm not very happy that the dog has just left. One day when I was trying to drive to his place, as I was just about to turn into his gate to 226 Sherwood in Avondale, so I never went back because I wanted to do public speaking now. This was the day before Takantama elections, the harmonized elections. So I think I'll go back now because I can't speak. So my topic is building sustainable businesses through effective systems and processes. Next slide, please. That's what we discuss for the next few minutes. So what is a system? A system is a set of things. I'm trying to simplify this because it's a technical type of area. It's a set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. Think about your body. You have your circulatory system, your digestive system, your auditory system, and so on. No system stands on its own without depending on the other systems. So for you to run your business, you need to have set up your HR systems, your transport systems, your ICT, and so on, because everything works together to give you a certain output. And then a process is a series of actions or steps that you take in order to achieve a particular end. So you need to define your end first. If you've read the book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits, I think, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he says begin with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve? Like we've heard from Paina earlier, the ITC principle. What do you want to achieve? Set your objectives. How do you get there? Your action plan. What steps are you going to take? So with processes, you're highlighting the steps that you want to take for you to achieve a certain end. And with processes, there are interlinkages. Marketing cannot go out and try and market the product without targets. What is your strategic goal? What targets do you want to meet? And when marketing comes back with interested customers, who do they pass on the information to? And when those people receive the information, what do they do with it? So for you to end up delivering the product, you started with your strategic plan, your marketing, your sales, your manufacturing or service delivery or whatever it is. Then you reach the customer and you deliver. So there are these interlinkages that we should not ignore. So processes contribute to business growth in four ways. Is increased efficiency. If you look at your activities today, how is your recruitment? How does it go? Describe the steps. If you try to do that in your business, or go hire HR person and say, do your HR things. Sales and marketing, or sales. What are the steps that they should take for them to then sell? Has that been outlined? Have you agreed on how it's supposed to be done? Then on resource allocation, when you know each process in your business, you can allocate resources effectively. You know where more is needed and where less is needed. So you don't have to starve certain departments or certain activities. If you say, I don't need a transport, listen to what they are supposed to do. Listen to what they say they want to do. And then the third point, so the next point is enhanced decision making. With data-driven, next slide, please. Yeah. Data-driven systems. When I talk about data, I want to give an example of some information that we had from the press sometime a while ago that said between 2020 and 2023, I think 4,000 girls were made pregnant. Girls between ages 9 to 14. And it said 40% of these girls were made pregnant by their husbands. Can you imagine you're a 9-year-old, you're 14-year-old with a husband? If 40% had a husband, where did the other 60% get their pregnancies from? What are you feeling right now? What are you imagining right now? Can I have an answer, please? What are you feeling from this figure? Anyone?
These are shocking statistics.
Shocked?
I'm scared.
Scared? So when you are running your business, are you collecting the data? Are you analyzing it in such a way that you get shocked, you get scared, so that you know what needs to be improved, what needs to be done? Do we all know how much we made last year? Do we know how much we lost last year in the form of business, or money, or customers, or time, or equipment, or raw materials? Do we know? The second benefit, or how systems contribute, improved quality and customer satisfaction. If you deliver consistently, it means you've standardized your processes. You know how your recruitment is done. It's standardized. Whichever way. Only 5 minutes. Sorry. Let me not talk too much. Let me rush. Enhanced customer service. You get efficient systems that enable your business to respond promptly to changes, customer inquiries, today's requirements, future requirements. Then you manage your reputation because you know you have your communication strategy in place, you have your PR strategy in place, you know how to handle when things don't go as well as you thought they would do. And then risk management. This is an area that we never even look at. We want to start businesses. We don't analyze the risks. We don't try and find opportunities that we can exploit. And then compliance. This is to do with your ZIMRAs, your EMA, your Z, everything. They're all regulators that we should, whose requirements we should comply with. Then crisis preparedness. When you have systems and processes in place, and you've identified your risks, one of the risks could be something that could get you into a crisis. We all know what's happening in this country. We know we get changes in currencies. Every few years, we now know our currency can change anytime. How are we prepared for such a risk? And then growth, scalability and growth. As you're identifying risks and opportunities, you're coming up with ways that will help you to tackle or to attack those risks, which will give you a huge benefit. There are risks that we are prepared to take. Then opportunities are those situations or chances that we can take for us to realize our goals. And you can attract investors if they know what you're doing, you know where you're coming from, you know where you're going. Then you can adapt when things change, whatever changes within your internal business environment or external business environment, you can easily adapt. So you want to invest in developing and implementing your systems and processes in such a way that you create a strong foundation for growth. Next slide, please. We see these on WhatsApp groups, do we not? Organic peanut butter, organic chickens. I asked one seller of peanut butter, why are you saying your peanut butter is organic? And she said, I use natural products. Natural products does not necessarily mean organic. It's natural products. Say it's made from natural products. Don't say organic when it's not. So when you're making these claims, quality research services, who says? Safety starts with you, who says? Next slide, please. So if you're advertising your products, who says your chicken is big? How big is big? What standard are you using? When you say quality peanut butter, who says it's quality? When you say your product is safe, who says? So these are the questions that we should be asking ourselves when we are thinking about standards. Someone must back up your claims. A third party who has no interest in your business must back up your claims. So a standard is a document established by consensus. There has to be agreement. Like for this water, I was giving an example to the, I'm trying to buy favors from the MC, maybe I'll get more time. People who bottle this water came together, or who are into the bottled water business. They came together and decided, kuti mumvura amfano renge mune zvinhu zviri palist iri pakatebhura. Or kana zvirimo ngazvive in the quantities specified pakatebhura. And when we want to determine the dry is safe, each test kwa matest akata measure temperature, pH, conductivity, what, and they should be within these limits for it to be deemed safe. Yes. Saka, for your business, your products, have you identified any standards that your product can comply with? When you say big chicken, what is a big chicken? How big is big? Has someone defined it? So you use standards to measure or to compare whatever it is that you sell with something that has been agreed upon. Then certification. This is a formal process that verifies that a person, a product or a service meets specific standards or requirements set by an authorized organization. So if you want your product to be certified, you approach a certification authority who will then test your product against those standards and certify it so that when you claim that it's big, you can demonstrate how big is big. Is that clear?
Yes.
Thank you. So there are several types of standards: with product standards, service standards, process standards. We also have what are called management system standards, which are largely your ISO. If you've read ISO certified, my ISO standards are international standards. You can take advantage of those. So I have to write. So standards level the playing field. Next few slides. These are 3 brands of water. They are certified. You can see the SARS Standards Association stamp on each of them. They all comply, which means they have an equal chance of succeeding in the market. Yokazoyone yako mvura isina kucertify. Totombotanga tombotasa eka certify it is fair. Tozoino matiti. Saka ndozvinoreva ne standardization. And then with ISO certification, the 3 security companies are ISO 9001 certified. They can compete equally per market because my standards are not at level the playing field. So whether it's big or it's small, it doesn't matter. Because I've had, especially women, my standards, my business is too small, and you can still adopt and use standards. Size I numbers. And no garage. You can still use standards. Don't be afraid. We can't leave the room without talking about this woman. I'm not advertising for her, I'm not advocating for her. We all know her. Right. And the first black-owned security company, SME like most of us. Then they are the first Zimbabwean security company to get certified to ISO 9001. Yes, that is she set the trend. Then they got certified to 2 more standards. With systems and processes in place, because my standards, I encourage you to set up your systems. They encourage you to identify your processes and make sure to research on farm. She can sit at a Magombarero farm, rear goats and cows. Achiza security zvekufamba hakuna chirongomeza vanozomuudza kuti taswera zvakanaka. Otherwise, without that, maybe she would be farming. Next slide, please. So, these women in City Valley, they claim pineapples are very organic because they've been certified as organic by an independent certified on the EcoCert. I'm not campaigning for them, I'm not campaigning for EcoCert. Don't buy my examples. Chicken are very big, my pineapples are very big. Is there been a third party are certified with this was report? That's what it means. So you need to set up your systems through adopting standards. Next slide, please. You want to adopt some standards, hundreds of them. EMA products, EMA management systems. And you need to seek, if you have the money, certification, because it does the talking for you. So you will get the slides. Okay. These are the good things that you're about to you are bound to gain. Kanama adopter standards, whether you get certified or not. Next slide, please. Next. Those 12. Certification is the icing on the cake. Certificate. What are you doing background? Your product can be trusted. Your product is safe. Your product can be sold in another country and still be used safely. So these are your 12 benefits. In closing, last slide, please. So you need to invest in standards. Hakuna chemahara. But standards are not tengwa. When you build the system, you want your systems and processes. You want people to get training. So you got to not train, but that's training for mahara. It's not to charge. So it's an investment that you need to make. But the returns after the investment will be phenomenal. Tarzai security is an example. And the 4 guards are Chitanga. Now how many guards can you even count them? So apana chatting its standards. And standards are important. USB slides. USB to China is the same size. Argentina is the same size. Zimbabwe same size. That's standardization. So once you get into it, you can compete with others. Locally, per markets, regionally, and internationally, because solutions are something that is recognized. So it's kind of, okay, it's certified, okay, Sakai is safe. They don't have to test it before they don't have to try out your product. Because many stores come up with it's made using my standards. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for that insightful slideshow. And for those, there are a few individuals that did not register when they got in. I would like for us, may I kindly ask that we go to the desk at the back where the ushers are, and we're going to see the lady coming in, Portia. She'll assist us. And then the rest that have registered, we can go outside by the entrance there. We're going to see Lisa. Lisa, please show by a raise of your hand. Thank you. We are all going to go there. We're going to get our meal tickets and we're going to go get lunch just by the foyer, right, ladies? Please bring your cards. Kuna Lisa.
Anditi kana achinge acomply panobuda inonzi compliance anditi kana certificate rabuda recompliance then mastens iwawo kana kuti development iyoyo are ready for title. Saka you find kuti mukatarisa developments anditi vanhu vakawanda just that, and I've noticed that kuti sometimes ndofunga advertise kana kuti kuno advertiswa zvinhu zviri wrong, like development iri kutanga vanhu momanzi uyai munonzi munovaka kana kuti next month kana kuti chii. That's not possible. Why? Because it's a lot of work inofanira kuitwa paground. So you find sometimes zvakafanira izvezvi tapinda murain season kana iri nyaya yedevelopment kuground kwatonyarara. Why? Because hakuchaitiki basa, hakuna grader rinofamba mvura icha sei ichinaya, but isusu takata kuti muri kuvaka muna November handiti muri kunzwisisa. Saka it means kuground basa richatanga foot after rain season. Saka development, especially pane project yekuti it's a new project and stuff like that, inogona kutora nguva, but as long
a person who gives you money and without their money are not able to live, they own you, they control you. Especially when you're still married, you're in trouble. I won't liberate you. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Because as a woman, apana limitation yokuta sauti mari yako iwewe. No, I was waiting. Say what's coming. My promise me, the whole day I spend. We need to get out of this nonsense of defining love in terms of how much a person is giving you. We need to start defining it in terms of you being self-dependent. I don't believe anyone should take you out for lunch because you're hungry. I believe they should take you out because you can afford it. Yes. You don't know whether it's lunch or dinner, not to behave. What's the show around your view? What's the and you took on a book tangira kana interest, that's I can pay. So ladies, Chinchonzi poverty, it's a curse. It will force you into relationships that you don't want. Majority of abuse or my relationships, but I can't walk out of it. Because I'm not life. It's a waste of time to make their true colors a praying point. Hello? Promote them. A cheater is a cheater, full stop. Yeah. Not so loud. Anyway, she wants to tell Maria Gordon how beautiful you are. She wants to quit and wake up. Not a bitter. And men. And you say they are dogs. You have to be born through a father. Also doing brothers. To an extent that if you allow someone to have control of your life, they determine a lot of things, the people you can go out with, the people you can talk to, how much you can talk to, where you can spend your time. By the way, if someone can call you, if you are not married, and say, Urukubi, why at this time? I'll never do. So, why you need to make your money? It gives you a voice. It gives you a voice. I'm not saying it should make you disrespectful. It gives you a voice. This is the problem. As long as anyone you are with is the chef ladies, are you with me? What's your value? Position. Are you with me? What's your value, G? Position. Don't very important because you see, majority of the times we're not asking those questions. What's my value, G? Proposition. As a woman, what's your value proposition? I get what I'm saying. So someone was asking me, what's the most important thing in a woman? You guys see, the most important thing in a woman is anything that I can get out there. Hey, what's up with them? So what's your value proposition? So why am I having this conversation with you? Never call a man a broke person. I don't date broke guys. You only marry. Material bit are quite different. Look what I say. You know material bit. You start on my house, hey, broke guy. Don't talk about borrow quick. So obviously, if we don't change this conversation, but I'm not drama. That's why people post about pictures. Right now, put them out in a mvura. Put out a moon. What's up? I'm going to go to we also go to the things one. But Kokena Chago Hakuna. Kutumunzi Baba and go developing ourselves. But now I'm up in our hometown. You don't know what the team put here, almost over. You know, that was all blog sites of the man I go international back just because of this person. So that you can. Why do I want to liberate you like this? What's when you never ask anything? Can also be merit. Remember, water, Mangwana Ango Ningi, Akuchinja na Mutuku ya Sanga. Just because Mama, I'll start to learn it. And they do it. And one thing men are good at is to recognize desperation. So the man I grow at what was never put it on here. We put it on the so do I can always my level for integrity. Learn to make money with anything, just get the latest technology. iPhone 16, right now, out of it, I'm up in the hotel. So, what? I don't pay them income people. I want to say that now. What was going how much you give? So, Chinonzi marriage is gender neutral. Money is gender neutral. Meaning, the moment you understand the principles and the character of how money works and you follow it, you're okay. You're okay. But that book Zico, no, I wonder. I should actually don't process it. Don't go that process. Nobody got this time as soon as home before. Take care of your shaman on that life. Life. Right now, when I look at a flat house and disagreement, also was what you name agreement and name with. What driver motors them up because of that could be. So this is where I'm better. She's what I know better until almost no for the eye. I get what I'm saying. So upon the shoulder energy, Mariaco. I was thinking to knowing today, and I was making a very simple point. Do you know what money is a response to value? That's the nature of where we will. And this is one thing that I want you to realize. Especially hapo kutuchinga uza hapo. Na hizo zipa chikafu chakanaka na mshoka uyazotina danga. Yo chibofunga 2028 wewe. Unomoni magwe manga nyewe. Chimbo eda makora ona right now. What eda chi 2028. Unomambo yeshika see in the first place. Because you see, people you know share kwe mari zonzo family dana. Unomambo yeshika see. And I'm saying my ladies. Like I'm saying. I'm saying. Marriage is very gender neutral. Full stop. We are in all world places ago. So if you want to make up etc, etc, she is creating value in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's helping you run your businesses, run your organizations. She's creating value. And as ladies, let's also learn to support each other. See us succeed, but only stealing your others out there. So when they say that, the definition of that is usually when you have to surpass the ceiling. That's why in life, you also need to connect. I don't trust, I don't betray. Well, that my circles, I'm not saying that very important. She don't say much. She's very important. I was speaking somewhere. Majority of the things that are making my prayer points is because of a bed circle. So I'm not going to my prayers here. I'm not going to my customer. The wrong place. Because your problem is one phone call away. Just the solution is always one phone call away. Ladies, since they have put them on WhatsApp groups, that's not awesome. Put them on my circle, I'm not jamming the house to run, the house to run, snitch. No one say come watch what you mean see come what you want here see guys on our people are wicked people German go better sorry in 10 seconds so answer so she knows the money in India I studied law by the way I didn't study money I read me but in law school they never taught me how to make money. And the mistake is the thinking is that you're supposed to know naturally how to make money. And that's the biggest mistake. Because I don't know why I'm supposed to university to sell bigger money. It's also good to come and teach taxation from a practical perspective. Alright, so she learns the money. One thing that I've been teaching people, money. I found out why don't pursue money. The biggest mistake which many of us are making is we're pursuing money. But the solution is actually become a person of value. And once you become a person of value, the opposite you actually get to make money. So right now, we're here at Cresta because they created it. Right now, we're more in manufacturing. I want you to notice my three categories. What are you making? What are you producing? Yeah. So right now, you're using someone else to make that phone. And they actually say an iPhone, quick Gadzera, it costs just about $100. You almost take it for 1.6. Now, again, as you know, this love, find an intelligent way of selling it. So right now, right now, what Gadzera in advance? Anytime to nobody, or China, so do you not faith? You're going to meet us, right? So, all the partner to wear shit, and to one, I want to go out to yes, that's 2 minutes. So, what are you producing? Next time when I meet you, I'm going to finish the other two. So, read my book called No One Is Coming. Hey guys, don't worry your program runs No One Is Coming. It's a story of 4 papers, you really enjoy it. No one is coming, it's simple. No one is coming to change your life, and that's one of the best truths you can ever hear. So take responsibility for your life, and that's the message I want everybody to hear. Toys for adults. It's a very clean title, by the way. Because you controls your 8 to 5, they control your life. Because one day they can decide to relieve you of that. The best time to create a second stream of income is when you don't need it. Without telling us to check it out, who has not that?
Any takers, guys? Haida, CDZ. Please remind me the other. $50 anyway. They ask $50. Chikamoti 10 number 10 number 10 number 10 number 10 number. Katrobada $50.
Thank you for being here and for moving at 140 kilometers per hour for us. So I have a few questions for these guys, and they are from very small to medium. And start with Kirsty. As women, we have fears because of our past experiences with the banking sector.
I want to understand where we are all coming from. Some of us were really burnt during that period. Some of us got away very free. I think what we require as a nation is stable policies, which we are hoping will come at some point. Right now, we are a banking sector that needs to survive, and we only survive on the individuals here and those outside willing to circulate money in the industry. You find most of the struggles that we are facing, but it's just that we don't have the trust. But if we had the trust and everything else was going on, it would work. That's we would.
For the next 5 years, we've looking at guarantees. That's what we are now in our institution. At the same time, as a business person, one thing that we've been looking for every instrument available for me to maximize the opportunities that are available.
Do we really need third party?
In our self-service portal, you also have to call on 585. We can take you through the processes of registration, of compliance, and anything else. Also as help desk. Also as help.
We are there to respond to your emails very important. The ladies that you guys have get us. So at your home, we get challenges.
That cost you $10 giving out some to buy some land.
Thank you very much. In my presentation, I talked about attitude. So everything in life is about your attitude and developing
It will not stay
with
with you because money stays
where it is maintained. So if you are not a maintainer, the money will run away from you. So it's not about how full.
So this one is for any one of you who would want to take it.
and to be successful. If you want to be
Successful, you need to learn to invest. Like here today, you paid $30, you're going to take it seriously. If you had come to this workshop as a free thing, you won't take it seriously because you didn't spend for it. So you need to learn to invest in yourself. If you really want to be successful, I know there are free resources, there are free materials online, but if you really come for a session like this, you will agree with me that it is different than you sitting on that YouTube on your phone and watching. Some of the things you need coaching, you need mentoring. I think Blessing talked about, don't be afraid of paying for money, for things, because you are making an investment which is going to make you more value. I was talking about value. So for you,
Yeah.
The $10 you're paying a month, that gives you access to the boardroom, the networking, the mentoring, that gives you access to all those things at $10 a month. The moment you know someone who's a banker,
Then we are done.
Thank you so much. I think since morning we've been talking more about businesses, and when it comes to financial literacy, I think a lot has been said in terms of financial accounting, but there is one area that I think reading. I'm not sure why we are not talking about investment. So for me, I'm not a qualified financial advisor, but I think the two ladies here, I think you can touch on something.
It's two questions. Can I say waita 25,000 this year? Oh man, you want not VAT. Next year, radakwa. Ushaita say you want a fiscal device in 25,000.
Thank you very much. I had a similar question in terms of investment. To say, oftentimes we don't get to know retirement packages, how to plan for your retirement, how to invest. You don't mainly get those platforms online. You might try to research, or even when it comes to.
All right, one last question. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the platform. For my small businesses, like I just say, let's say you're making certified.
All right. Simra, there was a question that was directly to you. I will let you tackle that one.
The 2,000 something, 2.1 per month. So if you say that you are making sales of 2,001.1 per month, or supposed to submit a return with what you have sold during that year, even you sell nothing, you report as it is, which is output tax, and you claim input tax. What you have charged, you have been charged by. From where you purchase your raw material, be it raw materials, be it you want to resell, and you have sold nothing. So you can claim a refund, or you can submit a new return. It's possible until with the compliance department.
Shumbambiri, and you Kirsty, 1 minute, because I know you're burning.
Thank you very much. I will respond to investments and platforms where you get information. At Intelligent Force Exchange, there is C-Trade. So you need to find out all those platforms. They have free WhatsApp groups and they train. There is actually online training on ZS, EVF, EX, and C-Trade. Also are available. You just need to be on the platform so that you get information. Thank you.
I won't repeat anything she said. But if you've got, how many of us are very comfortable? No, they are not watching. How many of us are comfortable getting $200, $300 rent, and that's the only income we get from that property? You just get rent more lucrative. So I'm saying, don't let us leave this room without having a conversation or getting our phone numbers. Any opportunity where you get to meet like this, make use of it, even if you. For those who are employed or who are employers, you can also unlock the value of your retirement packages. You find organizations such as us will tell you to say people have been burnt before, right? So what we are that buying land and giving you title to that land. Now you won't wait to get $37 every other month after you reach 65. Demand to get that pension now because we've learned from the past mistakes. So the opportunities are there.
A number of products too. Okay, I'm saying you had quite a number of products to support the new startups. I'm also seeing a gap in terms of platforms for this day. When I'm making my purchases, everything. So that account of statement in terms of my business performance sits exactly with you. Don't even need to see my receipt books or.
Thank you so much. If you have questions, they say they want your contacts, guys. So one by one. Budita my phone, guys. My circle, and it was something that his statement was, "I'll do it for her, for you, Tendai." It wasn't for me. It was because of my circle.
320 587 320 WhatsApp and calls. Thank you.
Can I say something? What the numbers are?
It's 0779 094 034 on Facebook, LinkedIn, Gladys Musoko. Sorry, 0779 094 034 on Instagram, Miss Gladys.zw.
What is the phone number first?
Oh, 0779
0779
094
Wait. I want you to do it slowly. 077
9 094
094
034.
034. My brother?
Yes.
Alright, fine. Instagram?
Instagram, Miss Gladys.zw.
Miss Gladys.
MS Gladys.zw.
Okay. So we start on time. Hi, my name is Gladys. We met at Royal Female Achievers. Thank you for your presentation.
Miss Claire, over to you, madam. Advocate.
255 0772 467 255. That's my code number.
Alright. Noisy up here, that much one. What you put the numbers in? Claire.
Awanda. Pane pataurwa zvekuti invest in yourself. Saka makuseni paya tambopuhwa mabhuku aya $5. Mem behind $6. Mem that side 10. Paida Isaka 11. 12.50. Okay. Tiripa 12 kana to 12.50. 12.50. Okay, 15. Going once, going twice, and it's sold. Ma'am, your name, please. Mona Lisa. Yes. 15. Mona Lisa. Ndiyo investment in development ya trukutaura zve. People are showing by examples. Ladies and gentlemen, I think isusu mzvarana investment forms avatipa. I don't know ndambona vamwe vachifila in those forms. Vasina kuwana ma forms. Achine ma extra forms ndiani. Do we have extra? All right. And hapana zita, hapana ari kuteera munhu. For a crowd. And idzo nyaya dzedevelopment dzatiri kutaura ndokudevelopa kwacho ikoko. So I'm going to leave this time to Paida. Victor. 5, 4, 3, Andrew. Yes.
With the new sun, God is good. Come back,
Okay, so this is a song I'm singing to myself. Congratulations. I've wanted to do this for the longest time. And I'm going to say thank you so much, ladies, for trusting in that brand. Men in the circle have been eliminated. I am the she and the king in one. And I love royalty. You know, purple is the color of royalty. Confirm? Yes. In our group. Simple. I'm not sure where the future is taking us. I'll charge you an arm and a leg like Arthur. Ma'am, please. They don't know your face, they should see it. There we go. She for us today. If you have any complaints about any one of them, please do let me know. I'll deal with them accordingly because I trained them well. All right. I would love to thank our speakers. Hey, there you go. And I'm a personal development coach. I believe in writing things down. So if you can use this book every day, your life will be better because you know what you want to do and when you want to do. Pane mabuku andapiwa na. 20 each, 30 are 2. Okay. Ipa mama wangu. Blue. What I use is by default, but in the now zangu. Madam, apera. Most of phonera at mga phonera ni nani nga. Marizu yes 50. Sakamutaga at. You know, and come and give you hugs and kisses, but I can't. I don't have time for that. May the good Lord bless you, and may you have a lovely 20 years. I would love to leave 2 minutes to my personal assistant.
Hello, everyone. Look at you. Thank you to everyone. And to finish it off, DJ, are you ready? So, see, number opportunities are in a man. We haven't seen, but we are blessed. We are chosen. These go-getters, and we are.
I'm walking